About a half hour ago, I tweeted an invitation for people to join my Deck.Toys class and to complete an introduction to polynomials deck, just to check out this platform, which I discovered during the school closure last spring. So Deck.Toys is free to join as a teacher, and you can make a class. And so the deck that I invited you to join is for my Algebra 1 honors class from last spring. Now I'm logged on as a teacher. That's my teacher email. I have the pro account, so I paid for more features, but I started with the free account. I believe the free account allows you to use 2, maybe 3 decks at a time. But I have the ability of putting a lot of decks at the same time. So now I'm going to go to my dashboard. And I want to see if anybody has joined this deck, if anybody is on right now. So first of all, let me just show you that the way the dashboard is set up, everything that I have assigned to students is on the left here. This is the active deck. And all of my decks that I have created and or found / adapted are over here. So what I did was I assigned this one, which is the Intro to Polynomials deck, and I just hit Assign to Classroom and Algebra 1 Honors. All right, so now I want to see who's on there and how far they've gotten. And so I'm going to click on the View Report button. And it's going to ask me, do I want to look as a teacher or as a student? I want to continue as a teacher. And right away, you can see that there is somebody, my friend actually, my colleague is on this deck right now, Christine. And if other people were on, if your students were on, you would see all of them over here on this side. So there's 2 buttons that you want to look at. If you want to look at individual student progress, you click on that button. But if you want to see how much of the deck has been completed, you keep it on deck. Now, what I love about this is that before I used Deck.Toys, we just did typical, like, I don't know, Google Doc choice boards for students. And I couldn't tell how far students were in their assignment. I didn't know if students were waiting until Sunday night to complete an assignment. But here with Deck.Toys, you can track the progress of everybody. And so I'm going to scroll down, and all of these little buttons on this deck, these are all activities that students should complete. They start here and they end here. And at this point, they make a decision. Do you want to travel this way to get to the end or this way to get to the end? So, so I can see that 9 people have actually begun this. They've checked it out anyway, just to see what it looked like. Not a lot of people have done more than that. And so what I want to do next is I want to look at the Start button. And you can tell which of your students have at least begun the process. Then you look at Make a Choice. And I can see Christine had done that. By the way, while we were talking, I noticed she had left the deck and somebody else has joined, which is fine. The next thing that I had put in there was an Edpuzzle video after the beginning. And this is great. So Christine, I can see, has answered this question. And you'll be able to see all of your students' responses here. What are the big ideas about polynomials? And she's giving me her answer, and I'm going to mark that as correct. And she has successfully answered this question down here. So that's cool. Then she went on to make a choice, right? And she decided to go in the direction of, well, what I want to do is actually look at students right now. And she has 62% of the deck completed and 95% correct. So that's super cool. Now, if I X out of this, I get to see my deck more closely. And you can see who who has completed what and where they are in the process. So I can see Christine made her way all the way down here, but because I didn't assign an Edulastic, she couldn't really complete that. She's just going to hit the preview mode, and then she's going to be finished, which is nice. And this new person is at my Edpuzzle place, and they're trying that. So Deck.Toys I love. It helps me to see where students are in the process, and students get an actual beginning place and an ending place, and they're following a path, which is nice. There's also a choice involved.